Is it Thursday? No, it's Monday. Members only Monday. I'm sorry. I'm suffering from brain fog, among other things. I hope you guys are all well. Who do we have in the chat? We have all the folks in the chat. We've got AJ, Beth, Jill, Kathy, Diane, hello to you. We've got Dottie and Kimberly. Hello, Penny, welcome in. Hi, Michelle, welcome in. Happy Monday to you guys. Hi, Jess, welcome in. Hi, Suanne and Denise and Sherry and Jeannie and Trish, hello to you. Hi, Stephanie. Welcome in. Hi, Kim and Paula and Patricia. Come on in. Just going to give it a moment. I'm going to grab my coffee. I've been hooking on all the things. I feel like if Betsy Ross had a son, that would be me. I feel like I'm not only making flags, I'm making all the things. You know, anything with thread, anything with, you know, yarn. Hi, Shay. Welcome in. Happy Monday to you. Let's see. Linda says, hi, Juan. I am loving the Cambridge Nights pattern. So easy, so good. I love that. You know, that Cambridge Nights pattern has gotten many, many views, more than I thought it would ever get. So I'm thankful people are actually liking it. So good. Juan Ross. So good. Hi, Ruth. Welcome in. Hi, Sugar. Hi, Fontrella. Welcome in. Hi, Laura. Hi, Lollipop. And everybody. So welcome, welcome. So I thought that maybe it's just me. I thought that maybe I needed to have a live stream where I just sat here and engaged with you guys. You know, I'm always coming to the live streams with all the things, you know. I decided for this one, I wanted to dial it back. I didn't want to pay attention to all the other things. I wanted to just sit here and be with the members, to just hang out with you guys, to talk with you. So hopefully that is of interest to you. I know I usually have an agenda. I've got something going on all the time, but I really wanted to just relax for a minute, you know? Hi, Carrie. Welcome in. Valerie, hello to you. And Janet, hello, hello. Hi, Donna. Welcome in. Eileen, thank you for the thummies. Thank you, thank you. Hopefully you guys have something nice to drink. You know, whatever you want to do, Juan, we're here for it. I love it. You know, I mean, I must have ran scenarios through my head at least 20 times over the last 10 minutes, trying to figure out, like, what I wanted to do, because I thought about bringing us into the yarn room and bagging up yarn, but then I thought, well, we did that already with all the crinkles and things. And so after running all these scenarios through my head, I said, you know, let's just hang out here. Let's just not do all of that. Let's just do this. Just chill. Right. You know, relax. By the way, I started another, I don't know if you guys have seen it, but I'm going to tell you anyway. I don't know where I put it, but I started another 2-bit. I love doing these. They're so much fun. So, yeah, I'm doing another one with an eye hook, nonetheless. I mean, who would have thought? Juan the Yarn Addict using an H hook, an eye hook. What? Oh, Juan, you be you. We are here for the hangout sesh. I love it. Thank you so much. I love it. Why can't everybody be like you, Shay? Diane says, I was able to hype your whipping at 97. Thank you so much, because it's Monday. That's why. It's Monday. I wanted to talk about that. I mentioned on one of the lives, maybe I should move my podcast to the beginning of the week, because I want to be able to get that podcast out to more viewers, and the only way that really happens if it gets hyped. The thing that kind of counteracts that is my work week ends with the podcast. So everything that I do for the channel, you know, snowballs into Thursday night, and then I present it into a nice, beautiful package, and I present it on Friday on the podcast. I mean, I could move some things around and make it like on a Monday instead, but like, would it make sense to do that just for the hypes? I don't know. I mean, I think we're getting pretty good traffic on the podcasts, but I wonder if I moved it to a Monday, would it do better? I don't know. I don't know. If you guys just had the solution, you know? You guys always give me the reassurance, you know, whatever you want to do, Juan, it's fine, but that doesn't really give me an answer to what I'm looking for. I guess no one knows the answer to that, right? Why don't we just save a hype and apply it to the podcast? You can if you want to, but there's no promises there because there's so many channels out there on the YouTube streets, right? We're all fighting for the same thing. And, you know, there may be another video that you really want to hype between Monday and Friday, and by the time Friday comes, you have no hypes left. You know? Do a test run, maybe I might. I mean, listen, my brain has been just dumbfounded with information today, and so I've got to mull through the things and process. But I'll get back to you guys and let you know what I come up with. Tana says, I try to watch it during the day. If I don't catch it during the day, I go in the evening. Yeah, I find myself doing that too. I just randomly hype yours throughout the week. I will save one. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I appreciate that. And, you know, they say it gets placed in front of like new people, but who are these new people? And like, what country do they live in? I mean, are they local? Are they international? Do they live in another time zone? I wish they gave us more information about that, you know, because maybe we can change the time we post it, you know, because we all live in different time zones globally, you know? So, thank you, Deb. I appreciate that. Lemon Bomb Mel says, you guys still don't have that hype option? Wow. That surprises me. How do you do the hype? Well, apparently there's an option. There's a button that you can, like where your comments are, right by your comments. There should be a slide button that you can slide over and see it. Oh, thank you so much, Shay. Thank you so much. That's very kind of you. Very kind. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And yeah, that will definitely go towards shipping. So thank you. I appreciate that. Are you supposed to get snow tomorrow? We're right on the line, guys. We're right on the line. So we may get some, we may not. I'm not exactly sure. So if we get anything, it's going to be like a dusting, I think. Cherry says, I always hype you on Friday podcast. I appreciate that. And you know what I remembered? Didn't they say that, you know, and correct me if I'm wrong, but like the bigger your channel is, the smaller your hype points are, because they want to make it fair for like the smaller channels versus the bigger channels to be put in front of audiences and things. So I don't think, I mean, even if you do hype me, I think the hype points that you give me are less than like a channel that was half my size, I think. I don't know. I appreciate that. Juan, don't send it. Yes, it's going north. Everything north of Delaware is getting snow. That I know for sure. It's going to go all over New England, all over the state of New York, all over the state of Pennsylvania. And it's just like right there, the line at Delaware, right there. So if we're getting anything, it's going to be a dusting. Oh, thank you, Evangeline. I appreciate that. Huge hugs to you. You can only have a live on the replay. Yeah, it becomes an option after the live ends. If you like the live stream, you can hype it. Tennessee is getting sleet. I hate that for you guys. There's nothing, like, I would just give me snow or give me rain. Don't give me anything with ice cubes in it. You know, sleet, hail. Let's leave that away. Make it all about, you know, rain or snow. New York is expecting 4 to 8 inches, and in some places it's supposed to be more than that. I know it's not right for me to be laughing, but you know, it's one of the reasons why I left Massachusetts. Because I will tell you, living in the state of Massachusetts it's a very nice place, you know, comparatively speaking. If you've ever lived in Massachusetts, if you've ever visited Massachusetts, you'll know it's really nice there. Even in what they call like the bad areas, it's a lot nicer than some of the bad areas where I've lived, you know. So anyway, I left Massachusetts because of the snow. If it didn't snow on me that winter of 2015, I'd probably still be there. But it traumatized me to see 123, 130 inches of snow within the span of 6 weeks. I said, I can't do this. I will never live in this area ever again with this kind of snow. And by the way, if it ever happened here in Delaware, I would literally put my house up for sale. I will sell my house and I will move. The next move is Nevada or some New Mexico, Albuquerque. I don't know, somewhere where I know for sure it will never snow. I do not really like the snow at all. I like looking at it from inside the house, but that's it. Veronica says, I'm in Mississippi, no snow. Yeah, but you guys have that humid heat. It's like living in a sauna outside, like 6 months a year. It's very hot down there. This Cali girl could never, right? Right? You know, if I had my choice of places to live, I would want to live in San Diego. I would want to live down there because they have amazing weather normally. Given some pluses and minuses, they have some amazing weather there. So that's one place I would want to live, for sure. Another place I would want to live is the Pacific Northwest. So somewhere in Washington, closer to the Pacific Ocean, in like Washington State, Oregon, North California, I would want to live out there, or San Diego for the weather. Like, I don't mind the rain, you know, just don't give me ice, don't give me snow, and we're good. San Diego is nice. I was there. I mean, I visited a few times, but each time that I was there, it was amazing. The weather was great. It wasn't too cold. It wasn't too hot. Nice breeze. I said, I can live like this. This is great. Yes, come to Western Washington, right? And San Diego is very expensive, Lorene, and that's probably why. You know, you're paying to live in that really nice climate. Yeah. It's too cloudy in Western. I'm fine with that. Just do not give me the hail. Don't give me the sleet. Don't give me the snow. No, thank you. Hello, Nisi. Welcome in. Thank you for being here. 31 here in Central Arkansas. Light rain, freezing rain. Wow. And even in Arkansas. My goodness gracious. You guys are getting some of that. Wow, wow, wow. I got to tell you, I would absolutely love to live in a climate where it was cool, but like no snow and like no ice. And if we had ice, it was very minimal. It's why I chose Delaware. I mean, Delaware, we get like in the years I've been here since 2015, 2016. I'm going on 10 years here in Delaware. And in the 10 years or so since I lived here, I think we've had maybe just a handful of snowstorms. Maybe 3 or 4. That's it. And each time that we had snow, it was 6 inches or less. I like that. Love it, love it, love it. Very, very 41 here in Georgia. Oh my goodness. I would rather have snow than freezing rain. Yeah. Well, you know, if I had a career where I didn't have to ever leave the house, like, you know, ever, I wouldn't care where I lived. You could put me in like Nunavut somewhere, As long as it's super insulated and it was warm and I didn't have to go outside, I can look at all the ice, all the snow. It wouldn't bother me at all. It's the fact that we've got to go grocery shopping, we've got adulting to do, errands to run, and so you have to meet face to face with those elements, and it's horrific. Just saying. Oh my goodness gracious. So anyway, I've got my coffee in tow. I've got all the whips here. I said, you know, I've had a day. Can you believe I spent all this time crocheting this and I'm frogging it? I'm getting rid of it. See, some of these vintage patterns, okay, first of all, I've said this on my channel many, many times, and I didn't talk about this in the Whipping It with Juan. You can clearly see something that's wrong with this, okay? I'm not picking it apart. Well, actually, I'm not picking it apart publicly, but I will pick it apart with you guys. How many times have we said when we work with a chain that you should always hook up one size so that you don't have the rainbow effect? You know what I'm talking about? Okay, so I read the pattern and I followed it word for word. At no time did the pattern say to hook the chain up or to chain loose so that this doesn't happen, right? I followed it. And do you see the rainbow effect? It's giving rainbow. Woo! You know? So I looked at the pattern and the pattern looked at me and I said, you know what? This isn't working. This is not how I work. I don't write my patterns this way. I don't follow patterns that do this. So this is not the pattern for me. That's why in the Whipping It with Juan session, I mentioned that I'm frogging this. I'm frogging it and hooking down, or I'm frogging it and picking another pattern. I'm going to let you know I'm picking another pattern because this just isn't, it's not giving me the things. Rainbow effect. It's no good. So, and you know, when you're reading a recipe, the recipe needs to tell you, even if it's common knowledge, it's supposed to tell you when working with the chain, always hook up one size and then hook back down to the original size for the project. It should tell you that, especially if the pattern says it's a beginner pattern. It's supposed to tell you that. I don't know if they did that back in the 80s. Actually, I can tell you they did not do that back in the 80s. Because this doesn't tell us to do that. It doesn't say that at all. So, it's a shame. Nope, and I read it twice. So, yeah, good evening. Welcome in, everyone. Welcome in. I always hook up either half or full size for my beginning chain. Yep. But see, it was part of that challenge where we were supposed to, you know, read a pattern, right? Read the pattern and the pattern didn't tell us the things. So I didn't follow it. I mean, so I didn't like, you know, deviate. I'm 75 and I just learned something new. Well, I love that. I love that you learn something new. But yes, so when you're working a blanket and you start with chains, you always start with one size larger so that when you go back and you work your project in the original hook size, you don't have that rainbow effect. It stays nice and flat. Yep. The patterns in the 70s and 80s did not suggest to go a size up on hook size. Yes. I'm learning that. I'm wondering what they did to keep their blankets from giving us the rainbow effect. Or were their blankets like that, you know? It shouldn't hurt the yarn to frog it, right? Ribbit, ribbit, ribbit. So good. You're making a sparkly PDQ hat from a written pattern using vintage Red Heart yarn. I love it. It's so good. So good. I do a foundation chain. That's nice. Juan, are you are your little squares just 2 rows of a granny? I got a couple advents from Brad, and each day is only 6 grams. So there's a few of you guys that were inspired by my project, wink, wink. And I'm very happy to know that some of you guys are actually going to be doing this. So it's literally just 2 rounds. That's all it is. Excuse me. So 1 round of the color, 1 round in black. And yeah. So good. That's Wedgwood. So good. And I think it's great. So if you guys took inspiration from this and you guys are doing it, it's going to give me inspiration to keep going. So please doing the things. You guys like the red? So that's where I'm at with this one. So there's 50 of these in here. 50 are finished here. 50 are in here. And these are called, this is called shaded red. So I do 1 round of all 50, and then I go back and do my black. Once I have that done, I take these, put them in a sandwich baggie, and then I move on to the next color. And for a queen size blanket, using a 5mm US letter H hook, you need 1,020 squares. It's a lot of squares. So I keep them organized in 50s by colorway. So long-term project for sure. I want to know how to crochet them together, please. Very, very easy. So for mine, I'm not doing join as you go. So I'm actually taking 2 squares of any color. You've got your corner spaces, and then you've got 1 space in the middle here. Do you see them? 1, 2, and 3. In those holes, I'm going to go in with 2 single crochets. 2 single crochets, chain 2, 2 single crochets. And that's it. And, you know, when I go on to the next square, okay, so I'm going to hold it so you can see it. So 2 single crochets, chain 2, 2 single crochets. Chain 2, 2 single crochets, and then 2 single crochets. So there's going to be 4 single crochets right in between those squares. Chain 2, 2 single crochets. So that's how I'm doing it. Yep. So good. So anyone else outside of Connie wanting to try this? Is there a reason why you use the 5mm? Because the vast majority of the vintage yarns suggest a 5mm hook. It wasn't until more recently that the yarn started suggesting a 5.5. So I'm actually following the recommended hook size for the yarn. So most vintage yarns called for a 5. And then once the barcode got put onto the yarns, it transitioned into an I hook. So just to keep everything as even as possible, since I am using a lot of older yarns that are like 50, 60 years old, I'm actually going to stick with the H and just follow through there. And also I think, and don't quote me on this, Big Twist. Does Big Twist suggest a 5 or a 5.5? Let me look. Hold on. Yeah, it suggests a 5. So, yep. And since everything's being covered in black, and it suggests a 5, so there we go. Yep. Welcome in, welcome in. How is everybody? I hope you guys are all good. Now, when I first started this project, I had a few swatches worked up where I did 2 rounds of the color and then 1 round of the black. And I asked a few close friends, I said, hey, which one looks better? They said, stick with the original. Stick with the original. I can't get enough of this color. Isn't that great? It's such a great color. Absolutely love it. It's called Shaded Reds. It smells amazing. It's going to be so pretty. I hope so. I hope so. It's going to take a lot of work. And, you know, I'm not worried about getting it done quickly. I'm just worried about maintaining my progress. So my goal is 50 squares a week. This is week 2. So by the end of this week, I have to have all the reds done to stay on task. So that's my goal. But something in me is telling me that I need to not be bored and put on another colorway. You know, get another colorway in there, keep myself interested, you know, work some black around the red, and then hop onto another color and do some in between. So that's what I did with the original color. I got bored. I think the correct phrasing I used was bored in the house bored. Remember that? So, yeah. Hi, Crafty. Welcome in. Where did you get the shade of Red's yarn? I collect vintage yarn. So I can't remember exactly where I got that from, but either it was gifted to me or I purchased it off of eBay or Mercari. I get vintage yarns from tons of places. And so I have an extensive vintage yarn stash, variegated yarn. So, yeah. Sorry, I'm a newbie. Why do you like vintage yarn? Well, I'm a Gen X. I remember crocheting with these yarns when I was younger, and I love color. And, you know, I dabble in art. So, you know, I draw, I paint, I do all things like that. So, you know, playing with variegated yarn allows me to think of different colorways, to challenge myself, to just play with color. So, yeah. They do need to bring a lot of colorways back for sure. 100%. But yeah, that's why I love vintage yarns. And I just love the colorways they had from back in the day. And I'm kind of upset that they don't make certain colorways anymore. One of the ones that I wish they put back into production like right now is called Banana Berry from Red Heart Super Saver. It's this cobalt blue with this lime green yellow. It's really, really nice. Very bright and vibrant. There's a bunch of colorways that they should bring back because they're beautiful colors. I love vintage yarn too. Reminds me of Woolworths. Yes. Yes, and I do have some yarn here that was gifted to me that has the Woolworths label on it. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I remember this. I was a teenager shopping at Woolworths with my grandmother and my aunt, and I remember looking at that same yarn. Can we just get Vortex back, right? Of all the yarns they brought back, that's the one yarn they did not bring back. Like, what is even happening? They even brought Supernova back. Like, Hirschner's is selling Supernova. It's on sale right now. But, like, no Vortex. Yes. And it was Donna who sent that to me, by the way. Yep. She sent that to me. And it's almost like too good to crochet with because that's memories. You know, that takes me way back to, like, early 90s. The Woolworth snack counter was epic, right? The milkshakes. Tina says, I don't understand why companies and crafts people seem to be afraid of color. Not everything has to be one shade or right. Exactly. And that's the thing. Like nowadays, people stray away from variegated yarn because I think, personal opinion, they don't know what to do with it. They see the colors in the yarn and they're like, okay, now I'm confused. The only colors that will go with it is black or white. And that's not true at all. You know, you look at variegated yarn and there's tons of different things you can do with it. You know, and I've showcased it on the channel here. You can take variegated yarn and intentionally run it with all sorts of variegated yarn and create beautiful pieces of art with yarn. You know, my stained glass blanket, the entire thing is all variegated yarn from beginning to end. And there must be at least 15 to 20 different colorways on that blanket. And it looks beautiful. It looks like a stained glass. It's gorgeous. Lemon Bomb Mel says, we have Woolworths, but they're essentially South African Marks and Spencers in the UK. Okay. Wow. So I'm assuming the Woolworths that you guys have is, I guess, different from what we had. I'm not sure, but yeah. Gray is a good color to use, absolutely. I loved Kresge's and their yarn. It gets so confusing. How's Picasso on? Picasso is just sitting there on the shelf, like elf on the shelf, waiting for more yarn to be brought to it. None of my skeins are small enough to add to it yet, because like I'm done with the shaded red, and I still have enough here to put on the hook for another project, you know? So it's sitting like an elf on the shelf. My 6-year-old Violet, and love watching. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. She is trying to learn to crochet like me, and she says her Juan. Oh, that's really nice. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Oh, so good, guys. This is the first time in quite a long time that I actually did a members only live where I don't have nothing written down. I'm just here, you know, so I'm a little out of sorts. So ask away if you have any questions. Make a couple hexagons. So if I'm going to use it for the hexagons, I need 5 of them. Do I have enough for 5? I think maybe 2 or 3. That may give me like 3. I don't know. That's fine too, right? I use variegated yarn, and my niece asked me how do I change colors so much, right? I always say when you're looking for yarns to go with your variegated colorways, you don't always have to choose one of the colors in the variegated yarn. There are colors that will complement the grouping of colors, you know? You can literally just Google it and be like, what color works best with red, green, orange, and blue? And, you know, it'll give you some suggestions as a starting point. Grab that color they're suggesting, back it up against the variegated yarn, and see what you think, you know? Tina says, no, this is like sitting at the kitchen table, just talking and brainstorming. I love this raw, right? Me too. It's so good. I was watching Whipping It, totally oblivious, but here now. Well, thank you, Erica. I appreciate that. I appreciate you guys watching, seriously. Off to the bushes to watch the Patriots game. Well, good luck, Becca. I hope your Patriots win. I was browsing hand lotion the other day and was horrified. A 40 ml refill cost, wow. That's crazy. That's a lot of money. Wow. Well, I appreciate that, Blessed. Absolutely. Very, very nice. Yeah, hopefully, like my hope is that there's at least one positive thing that you can take away from my content, regardless of what it is. Whether it's a little tip or trick or just something positive, you know? That's the goal, you know? Oh my goodness, Shay, stop it. Thank you so much. You don't have to do that, Shay. Just being here is all that matters. Thank you. Wow. That's absolutely amazing. That's very kind of you, Shay. Thank you. Wow. Amazing. You know, Shay, I got to be grateful and thankful for people like you. I really do. more so than I already am, you know? That's amazing. Talk about positivity, right? Thank you guys so much. Just know that I do pay it forward. You know, a lot of people ask me, Juan, how are you able to give away so much yarn? Well, because of people like Shay and various other people that donate to the channel. I think it's a community effort. So, you know, I'm very strategic. So like when I get things like this from Shay and from other people, I take it and I sit it to the side and I use it for these, you know, and I tell people it doesn't matter where you live, you know, if you win one of the giveaways, we'll get it to you one way or another, you know? So thank you so much, Shay. I do appreciate that. Very, very kind. Very, very good coffee. Yeah, these are the share boxes for November. And if you haven't put your name in the hat for these, please do. Don't forget. And it has been asked, and I do want to put it out there. You know, is this only USA and Canada? The answer is no, it's not. So if you are here publicly subscribed to my channel and your name gets pulled, then there you go. You qualify. Thank you, Jax, for the super sticker. I appreciate you. That's very kind of you. I'm kind of mad that the super stickers don't come with thummies. Ugh. I like tapping the thummies on those. It does. I said I wasn't going to mention this, but it's on my heart to mention it, and I do need to get it off my chest. I'm not standing on a soapbox, I promise. I do want to put it out there that I put a post up asking you guys to vote. If you haven't voted, please vote. I want to make sure that everyone's voice is heard, because based on the results of that poll, it may actually change the trajectory of what I do on my channel. I really listen to my viewership. You know, that's why I put the polls out there. So if the masses are telling me something, and you guys are telling me to change it up or whatever the case may be, I'm going to do that. I'm going to listen, you know. But what I don't want happening is the poll showing change it up, but then the vast majority turns around and says, no, we wanted Taco Tuesday. You know, so just make sure your voice is heard. Beth, thank you so much. I appreciate that. That was very kind. Winter is here once, though, right? Is it, when is winter for real? Like, is it December 23rd? Is it the 21st of December? When is it officially winter? Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. It's the 21st. Evangeline, thank you so much. That's your 10th super on a live stream. That's amazing. Thank you. Okay, we have to prepare. It's 4 days before Christmas, guys. 4 days, well, yeah, 4 days before Christmas for those who observe. But December 21st is literally right around the corner. And with that, I do want to put just a conversation out there to you guys. I want to hear from you. You guys are the members of my channel. What project would you like to see next come out? I've got several projects over here, and I'm curious to know, without telling you guys what's over here, I want to know what is in your brain. Like, what are you wanting to see off of my channel, like project-wise? Are we looking at another blanket? Are we looking at a shawl? Are we looking at a hat and scarf set? And I'm not talking about a Taco Tuesday challenge. I'm talking about a written pattern with a tutorial. Like, what are we wanting to look at? Juan, I posted the punch on the Facebook group. Okay, I'll have to check that. Thank you. Okay, Cherry says the Victorian blanket, which has another name, by the way. Not a blanket. Some people are saying a blanket. I'm a blanket person, so if I see blanket, you know I'm running to it. A rectangular blanket. Okay, I like a back and forth pattern, so maybe a blanket. A winter cow blanket. Okay. Beth says no blanket. There is this new thing that's almost like a shawl, but it's connected to fingerless gloves. Interesting. I wouldn't mind seeing another wearable sweater. Love it. A hat and a cowl. Okay. All right. I'm reading. Miss Pickle says a shrug. I love that name, by the way, Miss Pickle. It's very nice. Oh, Trish says she needs curtains. I love that. A sleeved blanket. Okay. 12 by 12 square sampler blanket. Love that. So I will tell you that the Victoria blanket is halfway recorded. It's very challenging to record this blanket, and I'm going to tell you why. I feel like you deserve to know what's up with it. So Little Miss Victoria is one of those blankets that cannot be recorded and say, just continue that repeat. I actually have to record 45 rows on this blanket in order for me to actually get it out there to you guys. 45 rows, okay? After 45 rows, I then have to tell you to take everything that you just saw, flip the blanket completely around, and repeat the video over again. And do it over. Because that's the pattern, you know? And then, once that's done, then we're going to go and do the border, which is a 3-round border. So, you know, Nova Crest was it 2 hours? Like, I've been having issues with this because it's taking so long to record. It's taking forever. And so I'm at an impasse right now where I'm like, is it worth recording this knowing it's going to be almost 3 hours long? I don't know if anybody wants to watch a Victoria blanket that's 3 hours long, you know? So that's why I'm not in a hurry to do it. I mean, because already I'm at an hour and I'm only 1/3 of the way in. Do I have the original here? I don't have the original here. Or do I? Hold on. Hold that thought. Field trip. Okay. For this blanket, okay? This is the Victoria blanket, and it looks a lot simpler than what it really is, okay? So this middle part here is the center of the blanket. I got to record all these rows and then tell you to turn it around and crochet the rest of it, and then we're doing a 3-round border. So that's the Victoria blanket. Oh my goodness gracious. Are you kidding me? Shay. Shay. Oh my gosh. That's insane. Thank you so much, Shay. That's amazing. I am blessed. I am blessed, and hopefully it shows that I do pay it forward, guys. Seriously. Wow. That's amazing. Thank you so much, Shay. Very generous, very kind. Absolutely amazing. Wow. What do you say? Thank you, right? At a loss for words. But yes, I can't tell you how much that means to me right now. Thank you. Wow. Breathe. Why does your... sorry. Jeannie asks Juan, why does your video need to have the full-size version? Because we have crocheters of all levels. And a lot of beginner crocheters have trouble understanding the concept of repeats. you know, especially when there's minor changes within those repeats. Everything needs to be recorded, you know, unless it's an exact mirror copycat repeat, you have to record it. And there are slight variations throughout the blanket, you know. So, yeah. Could you put it in parts? Again, it's 3 hours of recording. I can break it up into pieces, but it's going to be a 3-hour tutorial. So what I thought to myself was, and this is where I'm at with it, let me write the pattern out. Let me write the whole thing out, right? And once I write it out, I'll give it to the pattern unicorn, have the unicorn do their magic, make it all great. And then I at least want the pattern out for those who can read a pattern. And if anyone rushes me and says, hey, Victoria blanket, I'm going to be like, there's the written pattern. There it is. And you know, I'm at a point now where I'm no longer going to rush myself. You know, I'm going to do the best I can with what time that I have. And if it gets done, it gets done. If not, it'll get done when I have a chance to get it done. So, yeah. What about doing it as a cowl? That's a great idea too. I didn't think about that. Juan just put out a pattern. I love it. Sounds like a great plan. Why not just make it? Yeah. I'm not going to put a poll out for this. But I am leaning towards, you know what, maybe I should just get this off of my plate and make it a written pattern and be done with it. Yeah. Could we have it as a pattern of the month if and when you finish it? Yes. I mean, that's an idea. That's an option. You're loving the Nova Crush Jean? I love that. Yes, yay for a pattern. I love reading a pattern. That way we can kind of work along with you. Pattern, please. Right? I saw good sections luck of the draw 14. Yeah. So I want to let you guys know for the official level Yarn Addicts. So I'm playing around with some recipes. I'm coming up with a pattern for the month of December. One of the ideas that I had were making a blanket with motifs. So I have this motif that I designed like this, right? And you make as many as you want for the size of blanket that you want. And you can like play with colors. You can use the same color. You can change up your colors. You can do all the things, but it's literally a motif that's 10 inches. And you can do 5 across, 5 down. It's 50 inches by 50 inches. Put yourself a border on there and there's your throw. Or you can make it into a baby blanket and you can do 3 across and 3 down. Or you can make it a queen size blanket and do like 8 across and 8 down. However many you want to do. So for the officials, can you sound off in the chat and let me know if you like the idea of a motif for a pattern of the month? Army Mom says, yes, please and thank you. Motif would be very versatile. Okay. Okay. Maybe the seasonal mail gives everyone more time. Yeah. Okay. I get down on a teeth. So good. Julia, thank you so much. I appreciate you. I want you guys to know that you guys don't have to do the stickers and you don't have to do any of that, guys. I so appreciate every single cent you send me, but what means more to me is the fact that you're here. Your presence is more than money. Okay? Seriously. Yes, sounds amazing. Perfect. So, henceforth and forthwith, you guys will be receiving a motif for your pattern. And I am working on a little special project for all of the members, everyone who's here, because it is December, and it is the season of giving and all the things, I am coming up with a pattern for all of my members to have. I don't want to tell you what it is yet, but I am working on the things behind the scenes just for you guys. And if you are a standing member on my channel here, if your name is in green, then you will qualify. Just stay tuned for it. When the pattern is ready to be released for you guys, I will come on to a members only live and I will announce it to you guys what you need to do to get your pattern. Okay? And for those of you guys who can't read the patterns, don't worry about it. More detail, it will come. Okay? For when I finally get picked for a replay treat, Beth. Oh, that's too cute, Beth. I love it. Thank you, Jax. I appreciate you so much. Thank you. I'm easy one, just read. So yes, yeah, I'm working on something for the entire channel. So here's what it's, let me give you a little more context. So you guys know that I have a celebration coming up on the 7th. Okay. And on the 7th, I've already planned on releasing a pattern, you know, in celebration of that milestone. The thing about it is for those who are not members of my channel, it's going to be a paid pattern. And I will be giving some of those patterns away as prizes for the celebration. But the part that no one else knows is everyone who's already a member of my channel will be receiving that pattern for free for December. Like, it's a thank you, it's a celebration, it's a happy, merry, whatever you want it to be, it'll be for you. And, you know, that's kind of the goal for that. And so I will tell everyone at the time that, you know, if you're a member of my channel, you're getting that pattern for free. But if you're not a member of my channel, then you'll find it on Ravelry and it'll be for this much. And by the way, I have a few copies right here for prizes. And that's how that's going to go. All right. But for the officials, you know, as promised, every month you're getting a free pattern from me. So you will receive that in the middle of the month. Okay. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that, Army Mom. That's very nice. So the members, I have to write this down before I forget. So the officials have decided that they would like the motif. Perfect. So the other one that I have planned here will go for the milestone. And then all members will receive free. And then non-members paid. Yep. Okay. I have to write that down before I forget. So, yeah, you're very welcome. No thanks needed. Seriously. I appreciate your thanks, but it's not needed. I mean, you're here. That's what matters to me. That's all the thanks that I need. Your presence. You guys are showing up for me. That's all I care about. That's all I need. You know, but I do appreciate you guys. I really do. Just showing up. That's it. And like I mentioned, for those of you guys who cannot read a pattern and you're getting it for free anyway, mark this down as an excellent time to learn how to read a pattern. Okay? Because what I'm going to do is release the tutorial for this pattern afterwards. So you'll have the written pattern first. The tutorial will come after, and you can literally follow the video and read the pattern at the same time. And that's kind of how I write my patterns from the videos. So you can actually see what's happening, when it happens, and you can understand how the pattern actually works. So it could be a lesson. It's how all of my, well, yeah, that's how all of my patterns work. For the ones that have video tutorials for them, you can actually follow the written pattern through the video, and it literally mirrors every single bit of it. Okay? So it'll be fun. Like, there's tons of people on the channel, guys, that had no idea how to read patterns, but they started with my patterns. They started with some of the freebies that are on my Ravelry page. And you just take the pattern and you read it and you follow the video and you're like, oh, okay, that's what that means. Got it. And then little by little, you'll start to understand like how that actually works. And before you know it, you're reading patterns. And then once you know how to read patterns, it opens up Pandora's box. Like, all the recipes will fall on your lap. It's going to be so good. I help you connect the dots so you can see what you're hearing. You're looking at the paper, but you're listening to me talk, and it follows it to the word. It's fine. You'll get it. I promise. I remember the days we didn't have videos to follow. I remember those days too, and they were not easy. This craft was not an easy craft to do. These videos that are out now make it so much easier than it used to be. And I know a lot of you guys know that firsthand. You know? Janice, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate you. Thank you guys so much. Amazing. Yes, the Emberfell Cowl tutorial has not dropped yet. Stay tuned. That one will be coming out within days. Literally just days away. Okay. Tony says, I can read a pattern. I just have trouble with the symbol ones. Yeah, I totally get that. It can be, especially with the, you know, the parentheses and the stars and all that. Yep. Let's see. Hello, Juan. Lori here from Oklahoma again. So glad I'm catching you on. I'm glad that you're here. Thank you so much. I'm having a really hard time reading the picture patterns. The graphs make no sense to me. And you know what? I agree with you. It took me a long time to figure out what that all meant. But stay tuned. We're going to work through it together. Okay? Your pattern unicorn deserves an award. Your patterns are so easy to read. I will tell you that my pattern unicorn received a special little gift from me for all the work that the unicorn has done recently. When I received my silver play button, I made sure to give the pattern unicorn a little special treat. So I took care of the unicorn. Kimberly asks, once you learn the symbols, is it quicker to write a pattern or write it out? Actually, no. Because you can write everything out freehand. The symbols just make the writing process shorter. But like, you can literally, you just have to learn how to construct your project. The construction is the challenge. A lot of people want to be able to design things, and without understanding basic construction, it's really difficult to write a pattern. You know, people reach out to me and they ask me, and I'm glad you're bringing this up because this is important. A lot of people ask me, Juan, how do I design a shawl? Like, you know, or how do I design a blanket? If I got this stitch and this stitch, here's the thing. You know, I can only lead you but so far before my design ideas impact your overall design. So at some point, I am going to be quiet, because if I give you too much information, then the pattern is no longer yours. It's now my ideas, and then it's a copyright thing. So as someone who has copyrighted patterns, I have to be very careful on how I do that. So if you're asking for advice, that's one thing. But if you're asking me to design something for you and you put your name on it, you know, it's a tightrope we're walking here. So we have to be very careful with that. There are some people that have reached out and asked for me to design something for them, but they wanted to keep their name on it. We can't do that. So when it comes to me helping with that, I have to be very limited. Now, as a tutorialist, as a person who is teaching my pattern, that's fine. I can teach you as much of my things as you want to learn, you know? I decided to try to learn the diagrams after I did. Then I said, never again. Sometimes no fun. It's not easy, but it can be done. It takes a lot of practice, a lot of, you know, frogging and reworking your work. It's back and forth, back and forth. I always tell people trial and error will always get there. In knitting, there are less charts, so I draw them myself. Yeah. I prefer written over diagrams. See, that's the thing for me. It's all one and the same. You know, once you learn the symbols and how it actually works up, it all blends together. It doesn't matter here nor there. But there are people that feel more comfortable with one over the other. It's just whatever your comfort level is, you know. And yes, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I have on the shawl one. I'm doing it in Premiere, just showing ombre and moss and butterscotch. Oh, that's really nice. That's amazing, actually. Very, very nice. I have a question about my tutorials, guys. Am I close enough? I know it's a very basic question. I think I'm close enough, but do I need to get a little closer? I don't mind. Just tell me. I'll zoom in a little more, you know. I want to make sure that you guys can see. No one has said anything negative. I'm literally just saying, like, should I get a little closer, you know? Yes, you are fine. Okay. Deborah says, oh, yes. Yes, your tutorials are very good, and you hold the yarn up close enough for me to see, and I have plenty of... Okay. Okay. No, you are fine. Okay. I mean, do we need it under a microscope? You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised, Britt. I'm seriously. Okay, in my opinion, you're close enough. Perfect. Okay. Then I know exactly what setting that I use. I'll just keep it at that setting. I am looking to change my my surface. So I currently use brown. I'm looking to change that. And so with that change, I'm like, should I adjust? So that's why I asked. Brett says my eyes are old, but not that old. Idea. Maybe a JTY, a recipe book for an anniversary or a special occasion for us to purchase. That's a very good one. I love that. You are close enough. I watch on my 65-inch TV. Oh my good. That's such big hands. Oh my goodness gracious. I watch you on TV. Any closer, you'll be in the room. That's too funny. I love it. Ah, that's so good. I may put together, you know, you guys are giving me some ideas. Okay. If I change up my plans, it may change up the whole tutorial idea. But if I put together a little special thing that involves more than one recipe, I may not do the tutorial for that, but I will do the tutorial for the other one. So, like a little book, right? A little collector's item. Some of my favorites from the first 100K subscribers, like what are my favorite recipes, and I'll put them together. Yeah, I may add a new one or two in there. I watch tutorials on my TV and on the phone. That's very nice. I love it. Okay, well, I'm glad that I'm close enough for you guys. I will tell you, did I ever tell you which one of the tutorials was my absolute favorite? Did I ever share that with you guys? Do you guys even know? Of all the tutorials that I've done, does anyone know which one was my absolute favorite tutorial of all the things? Anyone? Any idea? Penny says perfectly squared. Kali says corner to corner. FYI, this night is my favorite. Love the one-on-one. Well, I love that. I love this. Mile a minute, chunky monkey, sugar. I knew you were gonna say that. Chunky monkey market mesh bag, wildflower, Fifi, resilience. No one has mentioned it yet. Okay, I'll tell you. So my absolute favorite tutorial on the channel to this very day has to be my perfectly squared granny square. And the reason why is because it's exactly how I do the granny square. It's the one pattern my mom does. It's what she's known for. It's what I've learned a lot of, and yeah, I love doing it. Second place is A Rhythm of Resilience, and third place is the Popcorn Truffle Scarf. Yep. And in fourth place is Genesis, and in fifth place is my I want to say it's a toss-up. Wildflower Oasis. It's between Wildflower Oasis and my Autumn Aspirations. So yeah, those are my favorites. I will tell you that I was so proud of how Rhythm of Resilience rolled out. It was smooth like butter. The pattern worked out beautifully. The write-up on that pattern was beautiful. Many people have given me rave reviews over that written pattern. Seamless, perfect, beautiful, all the things. And to see copycat mirror images of my pattern out there, exactly how I wrote it, is just chef's kiss. But my perfectly squared grain is square. It's very simple. It's a classic. It's go-to. It's vintage. It's me. And I love that. Rhythm of Resilience was the one that caught my eye, that I tried to remember the name of it, and finally found it that night. I was so excited because I just love that blanket. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. What, no chunky market bag? Nope. No, because, you know, I will tell you guys, the reason why the Chunky Monkey Market mesh bag is not at the top, it's not because of the actual bag itself. It was because of beforehand. Because I will tell you, the members back then, not all of them, but a nice handful, were always in the comments of every single live stream, they were like, Juan, where's the bag? Juan, the bag, Juan, the bag, Juan, the bag. It became like, okay, let me just get this bag done to keep the people quiet. Once the bag came out, then the song came out, and then I had to sing the song every 3 minutes. And then other channels started singing the song. So it came from me, and then the song, and then all the things. It was too much. I needed to be like... The Joey bag, on the other hand, is a very nice bag that I enjoyed making up. No pressure, no stress. It has a beautiful little kangaroo pouch in there. Very nice. If you don't know the song, don't worry about it. We're not missing the song. It's perfectly okay. Forget about the song. We don't know about any song. Let me see. Juan, could you show us how to make the Rhythm of Resilience in a rectangle? So let me ask you, if I sat here and did the tutorial for Rhythm of Resilience, do you think we would get the same response? Do you think people would be just as interested in the rectangle as the square? Very curious, because it takes a lot of work to do these tutorials. And so if I'm going to do it, I just want to make sure that there's enough people wanting it. Do I need to put out another poll? Are we going to be surprised like we are today? Excuse me. So maybe, yes, I think so. Okay. Kitty says your birthday is tomorrow. You'll be 62. Well, happy birthday. Let's see. Let's sing it together. A 1 and a 2. No. Nope. So, yes, I prefer rectangular blankets. Okay. So, how about this? I will go ahead and put a poll out there, and I'll literally ask, would anyone be interested in Rhythm of Resilience in a rectangle? And if it's lopsided, like if it's a resounding yes, then I'll do the tutorial. But if it's 50-50, I don't know if it's going to be worth it. Because just because someone says maybe or yes, it doesn't mean they're going to watch it, you know? But Bon Bon, I will put a poll out there right after this live tonight. I'll put the poll out there, and if I get a resounding yes, I will record the tutorial for you and for all of us, okay? A poll would be a great idea. Okay, I love it. I would like even a pattern for a rectangle version of it. Yeah, and you know what? If you know, we don't get a resounding yes, it doesn't mean I can't write a written pattern for it, because I absolutely can. You know, I can write a written pattern for it and put it on Ravelry. I love that for us. I love having the option. Even better, I would like to learn how to convert a square Afghan into a rectangle. Yes. It's such a great idea. Okay. Love it. So, yeah, happy birthday to all the birthday folks. I really do appreciate that. Happy birthday to you. I wish you have a very, very happy birthday here. Now, are we in Sagittarius era? Or I think Sagittarians are right now, right? Sagittarius? Yep. I would like to know how to convert Nana June into a rectangle. Okay. Love that. All polls are on the community post tab. Thank you. Yep. Sagittarius season. Yes, I just had my 63rd. Love that. Okay. Yeah, I'll play around with it. If I don't do a tutorial, I can at least write it up. Right? I can at least put it out there for you guys if you're interested. So it doesn't mean it won't happen if I can't do the tutorial. Always an option to write down the recipe. Okay? All right. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap up this live. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight. I hope you guys had a good time. I know I did. I'm going to refill my coffee and go back to my crochet. You guys have a wonderful night, and I shall see you guys tomorrow for Taco Tuesday. And just a small little reminder, if you guys didn't go over and vote yet on the community tab, please make sure that you do. And I'm about to put out another poll, so make sure you vote on that one too, okay? So you guys have a great night. I'll talk to you later. Have a good one. Bye.